Hey y'all, it's Butters. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are having an absolutely fantastic day full of positivity and happiness as always. Hee which by the way, oh my god, look, positivity and happiness. What do we think? I gotta know. Upcoming apparel. Let me know. We got the smileys down the side. We got the positivity and happiness on the front. Let me know if you guys like this or not because I am in love. Just, positivity and happiness as always. Let me know if you love it and we'll drop it pretty soon. Sound good? Okay, so today I am finally here back on the channel to talk about the Modern Warfare beta. For those who are new to my channel or haven't been watching the last couple of videos of mine, I did recently just buy a house. I've been trying to move in, so I didn't even get a chance to play the first weekend of the beta, but I have played back in July 30, 31st. I flew out to LA to play it. Then I played the Modern Warfare Gunfight Alpha, and then missed the first weekend, and then now I played the second weekend. I didn't get to play as much as I wanted to, but I do want to reiterate that I have played a few versions of Modern Warfare, and I'm here to give my opinions and my feedback. I wrote down some notes here, as you guys can tell. I'll also have some gameplay in the background, but I didn't get to play as much as I wanted to because I am moving house, so bug. Did you guys see that? But I didn't get to play the beta as much as I wanted to because I am moving into my new house. So this backdrop will be changing pretty soon. I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are too. But let's go ahead and talk about the Modern Warfare beta. I want to talk about the good, the bad, and the neutral sort of stances I have on it. The gameplay you're watching is probably some red gunning gameplay and a little bit of sniping gameplay. I had such a good time doing both in the beta. So much fun. First thing I want to cover is the good things that I like in the Modern Warfare beta. First things first, I love the graphics. The graphics are so good in this Call of Duty. If you guys have been on my channel, you guys know that I love color, I love decently high contrast, I love detail. If you guys don't know, Modern Warfare 2 is my favorite Call of Duty of all time. Then it's Black Ops 1, and then Black Ops 3, and then Black Ops 4. I really like the Black Ops series because it's so colorful and so bright and just, it makes me happy looking at it. I look at Modern Warfare and it gives me Modern Warfare 2 vibes when I look at it. It's just the graphics wise, it's still got really nice contrast, still got splashes of color here and there. It just looks so good. I also saw some campaign footage back in June when I was at E3, and my goodness, y'all, we are in for a treat this year. This Call of Duty just looks incredible. I think it's a perfect balance between realistic and colorful. Next point I want to touch on, customization options for guns. Oh my, there's so much you can do in this game. Granted, during the beta, we're going to be limited on certain attachments that we can use because they don't want to release all the attachments, obviously. You gotta leave some fun for the full game, you know what I'm saying? But my goodness, there's so many options for the guns, and it's just so much fun. And also another thing that I love is that you can change your class in the middle of a game. So if you're like, I want to try this muzzle, you try it, you're like, oh, I don't like it. You could take it off, you could try a different one in the middle of a game. That's amazing. It got a little frustrating in past Call of Duty games when you're sitting in the lobby after a game's ended and you're rushing to change your class, and then you can see the countdown going. You're like, oh my gosh, I want to put on this red dot sight, but I don't have any time, and you have to back out, and it's always upsetting when you're in a really good lobby. You're like, man, I have to back out to change my class. Ugh. Now in this Call of Duty, you can just edit your class in the middle of a game, and I love that. And also, another thing I want to touch on, but we don't know yet, obviously, I'm so curious what the camos are going to look like in the next Call of Duty game. Like, I'm super big on dark matter and diamond and gold and like all the fancy secret camos. I am so excited to see what they come up with this year. I would love to see another variation of dark matter or even like the chrome camo from World War II if they had something similar to that because it was so shiny and pretty and just, look, I like color, I like graphics, I'm sorry. High priority for me. Looks great, Call of Duty. Keep it up. I played the Modern Warfare beta weekend 2 on Xbox One. I do want to go ahead and mention that, but the crossplay is flawless. I gotta know how it was for y'all PS4 and PC players, but for me, I didn't notice any lag or anything. It felt like everybody was on the same console. The connection was just spot on. The time to kill is perfect in this game. It's fast, yes. We're used to Black Ops 4. We're used to the Black Ops series where I believe the time to kill is just a little bit more than the Modern Warfare series. Now that we're going back to the Modern Warfare series, it feels like a very similar time to kill that's in Modern Warfare 2 or in Modern Warfare 3, and I think it is stellar. They nailed it. Also, backtracking for a second on connection, when I played the alpha, I had the worst time with connection. I don't know what it was, but I feel like some bullets should have connected and they didn't. It was really frustrating. I got really mad on stream because I'm just like, man, why is I shoot you but you know hit marker or nothing? And in this beta, I felt that there was just no connection issues. If I missed a shot, I missed a shot. I didn't feel cheated out of any kills at all. Maybe like one time, but like one time out of playing for like, what, 4 or 5 hours? It's pretty good. Now here's a couple of little things that I noticed and loved. I don't know if you guys noticed it the same way I do, but when you die in this game, your gun does a spin move. Oh my god, I don't know why that cracks me up so much, but when you die, your gun spins. If you die to a claymore, you ragdoll. It gave me just like a little bit of a hit moment. You know what I'm talking about? Just like, haha, that looked funny. Am I the only person who really appreciate it? I don't know. I also love the way you throw stun grenades in this game. You just take it and, like, you know, in past Call of Duty, you like do like kind of an overhand. In this game, you just go, eh. I don't know why I love it so much. That was the first thing I noticed when I watched the Modern Warfare 2v2 gunfight stream that we originally saw a couple months ago, I'd say, and I don't know why I found it so funny, just the stun grenades, the way you throw them, just That was the number one thing I took from that live stream. Another thing I want to touch on, the doors in this game are great for audio. You can go into a room, you can close the door behind you. Normally a lot of people will bust through the door, and you can hear it loud and clear, so you know when somebody's behind you. Also, the audio in this game I think is amazing as well. I can hear footsteps very well. I can hear things, even the way the guns sound depending on where you're shooting. If you shoot off into a canyon, you can hear the bullet echo. If you're shooting in a cave, you can hear it echo in like a cave-like manner. They really put in a lot of effort into the guns, into the audio. I really appreciate just the artistic, just the graphics and the audio and just the way the game feels and looks. It's just, oh my god. They killed it. They really did. I'm a huge fan of doors in this game. I loved using them as a way to know if an enemy was behind me or not. So that sums up all of the good points that I had. I want to go ahead and touch on the neutral points. My first neutral point is the loading times. So I don't know about you guys, but I noticed that when I was, loading into a game, the actual screen that shows the map that you're playing on is only up for a maximum of maybe 5 seconds. In past Call of Duty games, it would stay up for a lot longer, like 10, 15, 20 seconds. In this COD, it's 5 seconds. At first I was like, that's awesome, really quick loading times. But I also had to keep in mind, they also added this animation when you spawn into a game. When you're either on a helicopter or you're on a truck and your character's like, go, 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 we gotta go do the fight thing. And, and I added up the seconds and it was about 20, 25 seconds, I'd say. So it makes me feel like the loading times have been cut down, but I don't think they really have. They just added animations to them that make it more interesting. I put that as a neutral point because at first I was like, loading times are faster, yay, but they're really not, I don't think. But they still did a great job. I like the new, what's the word I'm looking for? Little cutscenes that you see before you spawn into a game. What next? The maps. The maps weren't really anything that stuck out to me too much. I mean, they're great. They're greatly designed. Love the look of them and all. I'm gonna be honest. I'm an older Call of Duty player. I'm used to the 3-lane mechanic that we've seen in many Call of Duty games. I'm not used to the multiple like post-up areas around the map, you know what I'm saying? And I like it. It's just different for me, and I know that I'm gonna get used to it. So as of right now, I'm just kind of like neutral about it. I'm very interested in it. I'm really interested, especially for free-for-all. I'm a free-for-all player, so I'm kind of excited to see how that runs for free-for-all. But for a team-based game mode, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. It's there. They're maps. Another neutral point, the game modes are great. Ground War is an amazing addition to the game. I just didn't get a chance to play it as much as I really wanted to, so I wasn't able to fully analyze Ground War. I was mostly playing the just the quick play option because I didn't really have much time to play the beta. But Ground War was cool from what I saw. Lots of clips, a lot of chaos, and it looks really interesting. I do think maybe they could decrease the vehicles a little bit, maybe remove one of the tanks on that map. But besides that, like, I'm really eager to see how Ground War plays out. I also wonder if the addition of this Ground War means that a lot more players are gonna get nukes. I don't know. I would imagine so, which I think would be great. All right, I'm gonna sit up for this one. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the bad points that I saw in the Modern Warfare beta. I've said this for months, and I don't care how obnoxious it sounds. I want weapon inspection. That is the #1 thing I want in this game. Please add weapon inspection. I'm a YouTuber. I like pretty thumbnails. Add a theater mode. Please give us the option to make your game look really pretty online. In YouTube videos, live streams, please let us, if you're going to make these guns so detailed, if you're gonna put so much work into these guns, I want to be able to inspect it in game. If you guys saw a weapon inspection option, please let me know, because I'm dying to see it. That's my #1 point. I put it in all caps. Do y'all see that? I don't know if you guys see. Right there. No weapon inspection. I'm very passionate about this topic. I really want weapon inspection. Sorry, not sorry. Especially with a gunsmith and the options to really customize your guns. Why is there no weapon inspection? So I need an explanation as to why. Okay, moving on before I get too heated. My next point, it feels like the entire game is kind of slowed down. I was thinking about putting this as a neutral point, but I went ahead and put it as kind of a bad point. Maybe I'm just an older Call of Duty player and I'm not used to it, but it feels like it's almost, I don't know, in the uncanny valley as to how slowed down it feels. And it's hard for me to fully explain that, but in the little animations in the game, I feel like, you know, like sliding, I think is useless. I don't cover ground more. It doesn't let me be more aggressive. There's just too much of a recovery time when you slide. I just don't see a point in sliding. It's little animations like that, like certain reloads, running around, like picking up your gun after you're done running to shoot somebody. I just feel like everything is slowed down a little bit. And because of this, I feel like you're heavily punished if you want to be an extremely aggressive player. So if you've played in past Call of Duty and you drop over 100 kills in past Call of Duty games, I feel like that style is just not viable in this Call of Duty, which isn't a bad thing. It's just, sometimes I like to run around like an idiot and play really aggressively, you know? As weird as it sounds, I feel like I have to think more when I play this Call of Duty. For example, I was streaming and I was having a great time, obviously. I think the game is, the mechanics for it are amazing, but I feel like I couldn't look over at my chat more often. I felt like I had to be more laser focused on the game, and sometimes it's kind of nice to zone out. Can I say that? Is that okay? I really can't think of another way to explain that better, but it just feels like the game is overall slowed down. I wouldn't say it feels realistic. It just feels, I don't know. It's kind of in that, I don't know. It very well could be that I'm just not used to this playstyle at all. I'm mostly a Call of Duty player. I don't really play other FPS games, so I don't know. And because of this, it also makes for slower gameplays online as well. I'm a YouTuber. I like to watch fast-paced gameplays. I like to get a lot of kills in my gameplays. I feel like in this Call of Duty, a lot of gameplays are going to be lower number of kills, which isn't a bad thing. I just, you know, I'm just, as you can tell, I'm very unsure about this point, so I don't want to elaborate anymore because, I don't know, I'm not fully comfortable with my playstyle yet. I'll be honest, I'm not. Here's a point that everybody's going to bring up. The flashbangs and the claymores. Oh, don't we love them. The flashbangs in this game, were they that bad in past Call of Duty games? I mean, like in Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, were they that severe? Yeah, I think they were. So I guess it makes sense, but there's just so many flashbangs, and when you're flashbang, you are just stuck. You can't move for a solid like 7 or 8. I mean, you can move, but you can't see, you can't do anything for like 7 or 8 seconds. You're just a sitting duck. There was just an abundance of flashbangs in the beta. Maybe when the game comes out, there'll be another piece of equipment that's way more viable than flashbangs, so maybe it really might not be a problem, but the flashbangs were a thing. Yeah, they were a thing. And then there were claymores. Oh my gosh, these claymores are so severe and so unforgiving. You walk into a room, and if you're barely in the red, like in past Call of Duty games, you know, you hear a click and then it booms, and you know, it was a little bit more forgiving. In this game, no. If you come even close to it, you're dead. And you ragdoll. And like, don't get me wrong, the ragdolling is really funny and everything, but after a while it got really old. And I was just like, oh my god, everybody's camping and sitting in buildings and they're putting up claymores and... Apparently it was way worse the first weekend of the beta, so thank goodness I didn't play it. But the second weekend, when it did happen, I found myself just going, okay. For me, the spawns didn't really make a ton of sense in this game. I will say for Ground War, you could pick where you spawn. Well, you can kind of pick where you spawn, which I thought was really cool. I don't know if that's another thing in FPS games like Battlefield, but I thought it was a really cool mechanic. But in the regular quick play, you know, I found myself spawning on the enemy a lot. I feel like this is just a recurring theme in a lot of Call of Duty betas anyways. I feel like spawns are just always a little bit off. They always need a little bit of fixing up before the game comes out, so. And even when the game comes out, spawns still could be a little bit unforgiving. How else can I describe it? The spawns can be really weird. But maybe it just takes some getting used to. This last point I want to touch on, I haven't really seen a lot of people talk about, but it's definitely something I wanted to bring up. So when I went to LA to originally play the pre-release with all the other creators and streamers, and I was watching the presentation, they made a point that I thought was really interesting and definitely caught my eye. No more time-consuming animations. They're gonna do their best to keep us in the fights and not having to stop and use kill streaks and just like mindless, I don't want to say mindless, just like a lack of pretty animations that just take up time. They just want to keep you in the fight the best that they can. They want to keep the momentum going, and I thought that was an amazing concept. However, when I was playing the beta, I feel like, you know, there were a lot of animations that took up my time, and it messed up my momentum. For example, the 2-second overlook when you die and you spawn back in. Why? It made sense when there was no minimap. I totally get that. So you have a good look of the map, and you can see where your teammates are, you can see where the enemies are, you get a pretty good overlook. And I totally get that if there was no minimap, but if they do plan on keeping the minimap in the game, I don't see a point in that animation. It just slows me down. I want to spawn back in, I want to fight, I want to get back into it. Maybe it's a way to slow us down too, giving us a 2-second respawn delay instead of being able to spam X or spam square to spawn back in, you know. It gives us this 2-second respawn delay. I don't know. I thought that was interesting and worth pointing out. And also, this is a personal thing that I ran into, especially with the kill streaks that I was using. I was using the cruise missile, which is a cool concept. I mean, it's just like the Predator missile. I mean, it's great. The Predator missile in Modern Warfare 2 was super quick and easy to use. Like, you just open up the laptop, just boom, and close it and go. It didn't take much time at all. In this game, it takes... You open up the little tablet thing, and I opened it up accidentally multiple times, and I was like, no, and I just couldn't cancel it, and next thing you know, my character's like, alright, we're gonna pull out our tablet here, alright, let's go ahead and just call in our cruise missile. I'm like, oh my god, make it stop. And then when you finally call in the cruise missile, it does a little animation at first where it goes in, and then it breaks off, and then you can finally control it. I'm like, wow, like 10 seconds have passed already. 10 seconds in a Call of Duty game. It's a lot of time. But this can be easily fixed on my end. I'm just not going to use cruise missiles at all. I'm going to use kill streaks that are really quick and dirty and easy to use. For example, okay, I need to touch on this. This is a really good point. The UAVs in this game are amazing. In past Call of Duty games like Modern Warfare 2, I keep on bringing up Modern Warfare 2. I'm so sorry. It's my favorite Call of Duty of all time, so I tend to reference it a lot. I apologize. But in Modern Warfare 2, if you had to call in a UAV, if you were holding a heavy rifle or a sniper rifle or something, you would have to switch to your secondary to call in the UAV, and then switch to your secondary, and then back to your primary. Because if you called it in with your primary, it would take a lot of time, because you gotta put away the big gun, and then you gotta call in the UAV, and then you gotta take out the big gun again. In this game, even if you have a sniper rifle, it's quick and dirty. I'm just like, yes! Yes! That was actually one of my favorite features in Black Ops 1 as well. When you wanted to call in a UAV, it doesn't matter what weapon you were holding, you just... easy, done, that's it, UAV, go ahead. When I play the full game, I'll be sure to not use kill streaks that take up a lot of my time, like the cruise missile. I'm not using the cruise missile anymore. I'm sorry. That was a very long animation for maybe a kill or two. Not my preference. But I'm also the kind of player who doesn't like to use player-controlled kill streaks. I'd rather throw something in the air and let myself run around and shoot people while whatever I throw in the air does its thing. That's why I always use UAV, counter UAV, and then either like a Blackbird or an advanced UAV or what have you. But I think that's everything I want to talk about in regards to the Modern Warfare beta. I hope that you guys enjoyed the points that I had to talk about. This is all constructive criticism. I still believe the beta is incredible. As somebody who has played the July 30th, 31st version, and then the Gunfight Alpha, not weekend 1, but then weekend 2. I played a couple versions of Modern Warfare, and I can just tell that it is getting better and better and better, and it's just getting more smooth, and I am just so excited for this year for Call of Duty. Trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. If I missed anything, please comment down below and let me know. What did you guys like about the beta? What did you guys not like about the beta? Because I know that we're all different players. We all have our own different play styles. I like to run around with a sniper rifle for the most part. Some of y'all like the red gun. Some of y'all like to, I don't know what you like to do. Comment down below and let me know what you guys think of the Modern Warfare beta. The more and more opportunities that I have to play this game before the full release, I seriously fall more and more in love with it. I think this is going to be an incredible year for Call of Duty. I really do believe so. Anyways, like, comment, favorite, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video, whatever I make. Bye-bye. I cracked my shoulder. Did you guys hear that? I don't know if you did, but I cracked it on my shoulder. It did not feel good. Well, it was just a crack. Didn't feel bad. Didn't feel good. You know what I'm talking about? Just a little pop. Yeah. I'm gonna end the video now. Have a great day. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Thank you.